Hello and welcome to our journey into early British history. In this lecture, we will explore the story of Britain from the very beginning, before any kings, before the English language, and before even the name England existed. We will learn how the ancient people of Britain lived, how the mighty Roman Empire came to control the land, what changes it brought, and how everything changed again when the Roman left and the Anglo-Saxon arrived. Let's begin. The earliest people of Britain. Long ago, Britain was very different. It was cold, full of forests, and had wild animals like wolves, bears, and giant deer. The first people came here around 800,000 years ago. These were hunters who used stones to make tools. They moved with the animals, lived in the caves or tents, and followed the season. After the last ice age, around 10,000 BC, the weather got warmer, forests grew, and people began to settle. This time is called Stone Age. They hunted deer and boar, caught fish, and gathered fruits and nuts. Later, they learned how to grow food and keep animals like sheep and cows. They built homes out of woods and mud and started to live in small villages. One of the most famous things from this time is Stonehenge, a giant circle built thousand years ago. No one knows exactly why they built it, but it shows us that these people were clever and had deep beliefs. The Bronze and Iron Ages. Around 2500 BC, people discovered how to make tools and weapons from bronze, a mix of copper and tin. This made farming easier and helped protect villages. Trade with the other parts of Europe grew. People began to wear jewelry and bury their deeds with special items, showing that some people were richer or more powerful than others. By 800 BC, people started using iron, which was stronger than bronze. This was the Iron Age. The people of these times are not Celts. They lived in tribes, each ruled by a chieftain. They built hill forts, villages on the top of hills with walls around them for protection. They were former warriors and skilled in making metal tools and clothes and arts. The Roman invasion. The Celts lived this way for hundreds of years until a powerful empire from the south arrived, Rome. The Romans had already taken over most of the Europe. They tried to invade Britain once in 55 BC and again in 54 BC under Julius Caesar, but they failed to stay. Then in 43 AD, the Roman Emperor Claudius sent an army to conquer Britain again. This time, the Romans stayed. They defeated many Celtic tribes and took control of the land. Some tribes, like the Iceni, tried to fight back. Later, their queen Boudica led a huge rebellion. Her army destroyed several Roman towns, including London, but in the end, she was defeated. Religion and culture in Roman Britain. At first, the Romans worshipped many gods, just like the Celts. They often mixed their gods together. For example, the Roman god Mars became linked with the Celtic god of war. They also believed in spirits of rivers and trees, just like the Celts. But around the 3rd century, a new religion came, Christianity. At first, Christians were not accepted, but later they were allowed to worship freely. But the 4th century, many people in Roman Britain were Christian. Churches were built, and the old Roman gods were slowly forgotten. Even though Roman changed the cities and upper class, most people in the rural areas still followed old Celtic tradition. The two cultures blended in many ways. In the next video, I will explore Christianity in deep detail, its origin, belief, and impact on the earlier Britain. Economy and daily life. Britain became an important part of the Roman economy. It sent out wool, grain, tin, and lead. In return, it received wine, olive oil, poultry, and other goods from the rest of the empire. Most people in Roman Britain were farmers. They grew wheat and barley, raised pigs and chickens, and worked on large estates owned by Roman nobles. Others worked as a soldier, blacksmith, builder, or traders. Roman Britain had a tax system, Roman-style laws, and even schools for the rich. But life was not easy. Many were poor, and Roman control was often harsh. The fall of Roman Britain. By the late 300s, Rome had big problems. Barbarians were attacking the empire from all sides. The army had to leave Britain to fight in Europe. The government became weak and money lost its value. In 410 AD, the Roman Emperor Honorius told the people of Britain that they would no longer get help from Rome. They were on their own. Without Roman support, the cities began to fall apart. Roads broke down. Trade stopped. People left towns and returned to farming. The churches lost connection to the main Christian worlds. Roman Britain was war. So, from the first hunters to the Roman cities and finally to the Saxon settlers, Britain had already changed many times. By 450 AD. Each group killed Romans left their mark. The Roman period especially changed the Iceland forever, bringing cities, laws, and new beliefs. But when they left, Britain had to start again, and in the next chapter, the land we know, called England, would be born. Thank you for watching. In the next lecture, we will explore the rise of Anglo-Saxon England and how it led to the four new kingdoms that shaped the medieval world. We will also take a deeper look at the rise of Christianity, how it spread across the Britain, how it changed people's belief and culture, how it survived through war, migration, and the fall of empire. The story of early England is just beginning.